Oh no, flies! Ew. Those worms look too disgusting. So far, all we have is that there's somebody doing astrological magic, astronomical magic, astrological magic, one or the other, and basically probably fucking up the world. And we're gonna go fuck them up.
Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem is one of those games that I remember sort of vividly as playing as a kid on the Gamecube. The whole purpose of this game was it was meant to fuck with you. And I really appreciate games like that. Metal Gear did that as well. And one of the scenes in Metal Gear was essentially you're being tortured. And if you have a turbo remote and you turn it on, essentially the game will just kill you automatically. So it was able to detect any time that you had a turbo remote plugged in. This game has similar things like that. There is one scene that I remember very vividly, which essentially had showed you that your memory card was corrupted and the save file that you had was no longer there. There's things like that that make this game extremely entertaining even to this day. Developed by Silicon Knights, who is no longer in business, and their game 2 Human is probably a big reason for that.
So, Hell sends her guardian to meet us. You won't be the first dog I've muzzled.
It was a terrible game with extremely high budget, so that pretty much killed their company. But I always wanted Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem to possibly get remade and brought into current gen because it is a fantastic game. The main character reminds me of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Recently voted most pathetic. Uh-huh.
Well, I'm lost and I have a map, so...
Oh, I come in second.
At the beginning of this game, we did kind of get stuck a little bit, but it was just something that we simply missed, and it wasn't anything overly difficult. But once we started to pick it up, we really got into it. I will highly recommend, if you do wind up maybe buying this game for a GameCube you might have, or having another way to get this game, save it often. This is one of those games that if you do not save, and you die, you will be fucked and you will have to replay it over again. So save it often. But that's a lot of the games that came out on the GameCube and PlayStation 2. You can get your hands on this game. I highly recommend you playing it. Or maybe you played it back in the day and you have good memories of this game. Maybe you have like a moment that the game really, really fucked with you and just had you ready to break your GameCube because you thought it was broken. Maybe you have one of those moments. Definitely let us know in the comments down below. But yeah, with this puzzle solving mechanics, even it wasn't too difficult to get the combat down. Essentially, you kind of use the thumbstick to aim either at the head or left to aim at the left arm, or right to aim at the right arm, and you just chop away, and it takes you to like an ancient Egyptian level. I'm assuming. And I never beat the full game, but I'm assuming that this is her family's legacy, the main character's family legacy. The main character you play as in this game is named Alexandra Rovos. And she essentially goes to her grandfather's mansion, who's been brutally murdered, and a lone police detective is doing all the investigating and all the paperwork, and he's the one who covered up the body. He even drove the 4 or 5 ambulances out front of the mansion. He drove those all himself to the mansion.
I'm sorry to disturb you, but there's been an accident with your grandfather.
Oh, well, that's on him. He should be less clumsy next time. Dude, that's not an accident. How is this an accident?
They wouldn't let her see you.
No, you wouldn't be allowed in there, and also they would have removed the body already, so that way she would just go straight to the...
Well, he's the only person. He's got to cover it up. He's got to clean up. He's got to put in the ambulance by himself. There's no one else around.
Yeah, where is everybody? That's true. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Did they already leave? Like, they already gathered the evidence?
Yeah, why are you showing me this? He's just like, I like fucking people.
Yeah,
It's
true
my
face.
job.
He drove all the police cars individually. This man does it all. And he basically is there and shows her, Alexandra, her grandfather's mutilated body. Because, you know, you don't identify the body anymore when you go down to the morgue. That's not a thing. That was never a thing. That's not real. I don't know why people thought that was... This game's based in reality. And I love that this game is absolutely... It says, no, this is actually how police work is done with one lone detective, and this is how they take the body away with one lone detective. And I understand that, you know, back in when this game came out, which was, I believe, in the year 2006, you couldn't put multiple characters on the screen. So I'm only joking, but no, this game actually came out in 2002. Holy shit, this game's a lot older than I thought. So overall, the game, to me... I probably beat about half this game when it originally came out on Gamecube, and we got maybe through an hour and a half of this game, and it's a lot of fun. I still have a lot of fun with it, and on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm going to give Eternal Darkness, I'm going to give it a 4, because... I can only assume it's probably going to get better from here, and the puzzles are really cool and unique and make you... Some of them make you think about how you need to do certain things, and other times it's pretty, you know, simple, self-explanatory stuff. But overall, it's a great game, and I'm going to pass it off to Rocky to let him give you his thoughts on Eternal Darkness.
Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, is, in my opinion, probably one of the best GameCube games that I've played in a while. It has a really great atmosphere that adds up to a pretty intense experience at times, and other times just downright confusing, but in a fun way, considering that this is a puzzle game. The game really takes advantage of all the different gameplay elements that it provides, as well as its graphics at the time. We get various different things to separate it from Resident Evil or other horror games of the time, such as like the sanity meter and whatnot, and it's one of the first games that I can think of that had a lot of Cthulhu style elements, aka Lovecraftian elements.
Hey, Cthulhu! That.
And the game uses every single piece of its hardware as well. You know, for example, as Jason mentioned, there is the whole corrupt memory card thing that it can do to try to throw you off, as well as at the beginning of the game, if I remember correctly, there was a bit of a screen glitch that, you know, I didn't realize that it did this or what this game was really about, but now considering like how this game does it and tries to fuck with you, that definitely was probably something the game intended on doing. The story is also pretty solid, following a tree of family members who have been fucked over by various demonic entities, and including her grandfather who recently was beheaded. Now, Jason is entirely incorrect, though. This is not at all how you do police work, and it doesn't make any sense that that was the only fucking police officer there, and that they didn't remove the body immediately. They left the body in a large pool of blood, so that way the woman could come in, see it, and scream her fucking head off. And then it doesn't even seem like they quickly try to gather evidence or move anything. They just kind of say, fuck it. Overall, the puzzle elements are pretty fun and are some of the more basic puzzle elements that I would expect from games, but the way that the house is built, as well as this kind of pre-Assassin's Creed style gameplay of going back through the family's heritage, definitely kept me intrigued. Also, having the different areas of the house that you can go to, and having the way the camera is set up as a fixed camera, definitely makes it so that there's a lot to explore, and it's kind of easy at times to get a little lost or maybe even miss a corner, as we missed one of the corners that led to a key area kind of early on, or there's a couple things you might just miss if you're not really thinking in the puzzle mindset. For example, at the beginning there's like a clock type thing that gives you some hints on what you're supposed to do later with another clock, and if you don't really think about it or notice when the interact button is popping up sometimes, then it can definitely get a little frustrating, I would imagine. Also, we made the mistake of playing an hour and 40 minutes without saving it ever, so basically we finally died, and then we realized the big error that we made. I think that the most boring part of the game, in my opinion, is actually the combat, because the combat is very rudimentary and it's low tier. Just press this button, here's a small area of attack, and your sword will swing in pretty much the same way every time. Although I do like the finishing move at the end of killing various zombies or entities that allows for an animation to play that's pretty cool and is reminiscent of like a, I don't know how to say it, but a riposte or riposte from the like Soulsborne style games. And the story definitely has enough to say about what the Lovecraftian mythos does and does to the minds of the people that follow it, and leaves an interesting storyline that I definitely am still guessing on what's going to happen next or what the true underlying story is. The game also very smoothly switches between various different gameplay elements, going from just kind of being almost a platformer at times to then being a puzzle game to then being a bit of a combat game. It's all very easily melded together in a way that's satisfying and feels like you're always achieving something new. I definitely recommend this game, and if you can find it anywhere, you know, wherever you can find it, you know what I mean? Definitely go find it and give it a try. All right, back to you, Jason.
All right, guys, so those are our thoughts on the game Eternal Darkness. What do y'all think? Have you played Eternal Darkness in the past? If you have, let us know in the comments down below. And if you haven't, try to purchase the game. I'm sure it's probably on eBay for about $150, or find other ways to possibly get this game. Either way, definitely give it a try if you can find it. It's definitely worth playing even in 2023. But if also down below, you will find our description where me and my brother Rocky's all of his socials are down there, and a link to our main channel, Smokin Sessions, where we do movie watch-alongs, praise Nicolas Cage and Keanu Reeves, and just give you all great other fun content that's similar to gaming sessions. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to Gaming Sessions so you don't miss out on videos like this from us in the future. And thank you so much for all the love and the support. It's really encouraging to see our subscribers going up, more people commenting on our videos, and just overall enjoying our content. Thank you so much. We appreciate you watching and or listening to any of our videos and to this video currently, and we will see you all in the next gaming session.
Dude, the graphics are crazy, right?